Good morning, my sweet artist friends. It's been such a long time since I've been able to film a new video for you all. I am back at work. I spent the last 6 weeks in Portland taking good care of my boyfriend who had surgery, and now he's doing much better, so I'm able to come back to work and I'm back in Jacksonville. So today we are going to start a new unit, and it is going to be on space, scale, and proportion. So what I would like for you guys to do, I have my whiteboard here ready for you all. What I would like for you to do is to go ahead and grab yourself a sheet of paper. Any kind of paper is fine. Mine happens to be blue, but you can use notebook paper, printer paper, art paper, anything is okay. And with this sheet of paper, you should go ahead and fold it in half like how I'm doing here. I think it's called hamburger style. I like to say fold it like a book. Go ahead and just fold that sheet of paper just as I've done here. Next, what you are going to do is you are going to write your name on your sheet of paper. So here we go. I've got a pen. I'm just going to write my name right up here in the corner. Let's see. If I'm looking at it, I want to open it this way. I'm going to write my name right up here in this corner. I'm going to write Miss Alafia. There we go. You see how I've got my name right up here? And then I'm going to label my pages. I'm going to go page 1, page 2, 3, and 4. So let me label those pages. 1, 2, 3, and page 4. Now I'm going to go through this rather quickly, but remember, because this video is pre-recorded, you guys can pause the video and catch up with me before you move on to the next step. So make sure for right now you have your paper folded and you've got it labeled with numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now today we are going to focus on space, and next week, we are going to focus on scale and proportion. I have my standards page up here. It's a little bit hard to see, so let me get it down for you. Space, scale, and proportions. Our objective is that students will demonstrate understanding of ways to create and use space, scale, and proportion in a composition. Our essential questions this unit are: how can using space, proportion, and scale impact your composition? How can you use the elements and principles of art to render space, proportion, and scale in a composition? And how can space, proportion, and scale impact other parts of your composition? So, back to this. We are going to label our first page with the word space. So go ahead and write space on your paper. It's backwards in the recording, but space is spelled S-P-A-C-E. That way you can have yours labeled space just like mine. And what I would like for you to do, because in art there are two kinds of space. Now I'm not talking outer space where the moon and the sun are, where the planets are. That is a different kind of space. I'm talking all about art space and the kinds of space that artists use when we are creating our very own compositions and pieces of artwork. My magnets don't want to hold. Here, I'm going to have to use some extra ones. But when we talk about space in art, we are talking about the space around us. We are talking about how we present space in our artwork by using the space around us. Does that make sense? Well, I'll explain it some more, even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now. So in art, there are two kinds of space. There is positive space and negative space. Now on my piece of paper, I'm going to draw two circles here. I'm going to label one with a plus symbol and a minus symbol. In the words positive, underneath my plus symbol, P-O-S-I-T-I-V-E. And underneath my minus symbol, I'm going to label it negative, N-E-G-A-T-I-V-E. Positive and negative. Now, here is the difference between positive and negative space. Positive space in art is wherever you see or put your own marks. So now I'm going to color in this circle that I labeled as positive space. You guys color it in with me, okay? Your positive space is wherever there is weight, depth in your artwork, wherever there is an object or a color and you can't see the background. See how here you can see the background color of my paper and it's just blue, and here I filled it in. Now with positive space, you can see it much better from far away. You can really see this positive space circle that I've colored in, but you can't really see the rest of everything. If I bring it up close, it's easy for you to see that there's a line here. Now lines count as positive space, and inside the line there is nothing, right? It's just the background color of my paper. That is what negative space is. Anywhere around here where there's just background color, that's going to be your negative space in your art compositions. Now to show you an extra example, I want you guys to try and draw this along with me too, okay? I am going to draw the same picture here and here. One, I'm going to emphasize the positive space, and one, I'm going to emphasize the negative space. So draw along with me. Or maybe I can do this one, actually, here on the whiteboard so you can see it even more clearly. My positive space, I'm going to draw just a flower. By drawing this flower, I'm just going to use a nice oval shape with a point at the bottom, and I'm going to draw those petals just everywhere that I have room for them. That's a little flower. I'm going to draw my stem and my leaf, and then I am going to color the whole thing in with my marker. I'm going to use some of those shading techniques that, well, I was able to, my substitute teacher in class was able to talk about, but I've got to catch you guys up on value in shading, which I will probably be able to do after winter break, so no worries. Because of testing, we're just doing some quick 30-minute classes this week and next week. See how I'm coloring in every single flower petal? I'm turning that negative space into positive by adding my very own color. There we go. That is my positive space flower. You can see it super well from far away. Now I'm going to draw my negative space flower. You guys draw it with me on your paper, okay? 3, 4, 5 flower petals, sure. I'm going to draw my stem as a nice curved line, and my leaf. Now in the leaf, I can put some line details, which you can really see. Same on the flowers, because the background isn't colored in, it's negative space. So there are different usages for your negative space and your positive space. Can you see how this one holds more weight? It kind of looks deeper in a way. There's depth to it. Whereas my negative space flower is just lines and shapes, which is perfectly fine. Both are really great pieces of art. But one of them uses my understanding of positive space, and one of them uses my understanding of negative space. Now there's something else really very interesting that we can do with positive and negative space, and I'm going to show you that. You can do this with a pencil on your piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard and you'd like to try it with your marker on your whiteboard like I'm going to do, that's all right too. I would like to see if we can put negative space as our positive space and positive space as our negative space. And when it's done, oops, it's gonna look like this square down here. Pretty cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a square with my vertical line, my horizontal lines, vertical and horizontal again. Here's my square. Next, I'm going to add a diagonal line from one corner to the other, and I am going to completely fill in one section, one half here of my square. So I'm filling in that one half of square with positive space because I am adding my own markings to the canvas. And again, you can do this with pencil on your piece of paper, on your foldable. Now down here, I'm going to draw a couple shapes. Let's say I want to draw a heart, maybe a triangle, and a circle. Sure. I'm going to fill those in and create positive space shapes on this side. See, the background here is all negative space. And here in the foreground, we have our positive shape, space, shape, positive space shapes. There we go. Sometimes when you say the same words over and over again, it gets all mixed up in your brain, right? So now, here where I have my positive space background, I'm actually just going to erase away some of my positive space in order to have my negative space be the actual focus of this side of my drawing. So I can put my shapes in by erasing them away from my positive space. Isn't that cool? So there's my heart, my circle, and my triangle. Pretty cool, huh? I really like that you can do this. And look at the effect that that has. When you have a fully colored in background, and then your negative space of your canvas becomes the positive space in your artwork, that's super amazing. So you can label this negative space in positive background, and this side here can be positive shapes in a negative background. So that's the difference between the two. Now, if you have any questions at all, you can contact me on Teams and we can talk about it more and I can clear anything up for you. But what I would like for you to do next is to move on to page 2. Remember, on this paper here, you should have your flowers and your positive and negative, just like here. This is kind of what your paper should look like. Your positive and negative space, your negative flower, positive flower, and then your positive in negative and negative in positive. On page 2, we are going to talk, or actually, we're not really going to talk. We are going to draw whatever it is that you would like to draw, but I want you to show me that you understand the difference between positive and negative space by making a couple of drawings that have both. Now, something I've been doing in class that a lot of my students have been enjoying as an example, and of course you can draw this too, if that's something you would like to do, and you can show me your drawings on Flipgrid. when you are finished with them, or take a picture and put them on Teams, is I've been drawing this. And if you know what it is, you can comment on the post down below. I'm sure you will recognize these little characters. Start with a nice long half of an oval shape. Then I'm going to add a half circle, a horizontal line, and another half circle at the bottom. I'm going to put a rectangle right here at the top in the center, and a nice oval connecting it. I'm also going to add at the very top a little plant shoot, because that's what my character looks like in Among Us. So you guys have certainly seen this guy around. And a lot of my students have been having fun drawing the Among Us characters. I'm going to choose where to put my positive and negative space. So here I made my visor positive. I'm going to make my little plant shoot positive. And I'm also going to make my backpack positive space. After I draw my guy, and I've got both positive and negative space going on with him, what I actually want to do is I want to draw another one. This one can be smaller if you want. That's okay. I'm going to draw the same thing again, whatever I would like to draw for my notes, and I'm actually going to do the exact opposite. So this time, I'm going to make the actual character suit here all positive space. And remember, I can also use my technique where I erase inside of negative, or where I erase inside of positive, excuse me, to create my negative space. So I think in here, I'm going to take a little bit away to make the visor look shiny. And I might also add a nice heart shape here, because why not? And I can do the same thing here, this time using my positive space. See how I've got my two guys? Now you guys can draw whatever you want, but this is my character. Sometimes I name him Fruit. Sometimes I name him other things, but that's what I like my little Among Us character to look like. And you can see how I emphasize the character with positive space here and negative space here. So that's what I want to see on you guys' page too. So if you imagine this is the paper that we folded today, page 2 should look like this. And next class we will worry about page 3 and page 4. So keep this foldable with your other school things so that we can finish filling out your notes on space, scale, and proportion next week, okay? It is so wonderful to be able to have class with you all again, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and you will see me again soon, okay? And if you have any questions for me at all, you can comment them down below on this post, and I will help you out to the very best of my abilities. Bye, guys. Much love, and thank you for being fantastic artists, especially while I've been gone. I appreciate it. Bye.